Welcome to the Soul Warrior Network, where we are stepping into a season of gratitude. How can I enjoy the holidays with ease and joy? This week's topic is healing abundance blocks and barriers. What is blocking us from doing what we love and becoming abundant with it? Join Jeffrey as he guides us through ways to expand our abundance on multiple levels. So without further delay, thank you, Jeff.
Do you really think and believe that millions of evolved souls would say yes to come to Earth just to die in a totalitarian New World Order? Absolutely not. We came to flip this world upside down, back to its original state, and more. We came here for the new Earth, for world peace, for the immortal golden age, for a new Eden. We came here for nothing less than to send a wave of light and love across the universe, signaling the birth of a new order of divine justice, peace, compassion, and love. And that's what the Soul Warrior Network is about, getting people ready to ignite that new order of divine justice, peace, compassion, and love. And we're using vibrational healing to do that. So abundance to me is physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and being happy in your skin. And then the cash follows. Being of service, living your purpose, operating out of the cause, the reason you came here, and your core identity. In other words, being who you came here to be and doing what you came here to do. Out of that comes abundance of everything. Because I know in my bones, I can look at my bank account and it doesn't frighten me at all, because I know money shows up. Money always shows up if I need it. Money always shows up, or a way of handling something always shows up. That's abundance. You're an infinite being having a human experience. And there's no need to suffer in this world. And because we live in a matrix full of all kinds of arbitrary rules. So the real catch is to get you to be who you came here to be. That's what we're going to do tonight. So I want to start out with a little bit of a reading from, again, You Are a Spiritual Being, Having a Human Experience. I find a lot of these passages very enlightening. And this one is called Reclaiming Your Authority. Reclaiming Your Authority. The last 13,000 years, we have been giving our power away. And one of the ways we have been doing that is by thinking that authority lies outside of us. Authority in what sense? Authority in every sense. Authority for judging what we ought to do and ought not to do. Authority for deciding what is real and what is not real. In our present day world, the way we most typically give away our authority is by believing that every area of life is only understood by, quote, experts, unquote. People who specialize in some form of knowledge and therefore really know more than we could possibly know about it. We have experts in health, and experts in finance, and experts in plumbing, and experts in how to groom the dog. The average well-adjusted human won't make a move without consulting someone whom he thinks knows more than he does. This expert trusting mentality is enormously reinforced by the success of left brain technology, the ability to predict and control the occurrence of material phenomenon by what amounts to little more than very sophisticated cunning and stealth. Having forgotten that we ourselves create the reality we want to control, we think we need to do it by subterfuge, deftly manipulating nature as if behind nature's back. But the truth is that the enormously impressive feats of contemporary technology, the details of which indeed lie far beyond the knowledge and capabilities of most of us, have the effect of making us feel powerless and ignorant in spite of the incredible things they empower us to do and the incredible knowledge on which they are based. This is a very crazy paradox, a contradiction, that things that things that should empower us, in fact, cripple us, that knowledge increases our feelings of ignorance, that the ability to manipulate and control nature only reinforces our completely false belief that nature is something other than ourselves, something that we are from the beginning not in control of, and thus have to conquer or dominate or manage. And when we fail to manage it, when we get sick or find the planet on the brink of ecological catastrophe, we think the only way out of the mess is more technology, more expert monkey business, more giving away of our power, more giving away of our power. We live in a world in which we seem to be constantly asked to surrender our center, to give up our authority over what we believe to be real and true, and over what we believe we should be and do. We must actually profoundly doubt our own independent ability to decide for ourselves what is right and wrong, what is desirable or not, or what is true and false. We ask ourselves, who are we to determine such things? We don't have a strong sense of who we are, so we wish to become what we see. We wish to become whatever image appeals to what we feel we lack. And that's how the advertising industry is in existence. So that's why they're in existence. They throw images on the screen and in magazines and newsprint, and we want to strive to be that. We want the new Gucci bag. We want the new Ferrari. We want the new fill in the blank. Whatever they're pushing is what we want, because we've given up our authority. Our authority. So the distinction that I'm getting at is that because of the reality we have unwittingly created for ourselves, where we see ourselves as powerless victims of forces beyond our control, and with no authority over our lives, we have no access to our spiritual essence, and therefore we have no access to our true potential. Therefore, we have no access to our true potential. And when we do perchance catch a glimpse of our true nature, when we do occasionally have a spiritual experience, we tend to view ourselves as not being good enough and not being up to the task. But the truth is, there's nothing to understand that is not in our very nature from the beginning. The only trip worth taking is the one that leads you to where you already are. Okay. I hope some of that sunk in. Those are some very profound words. You're born, and then this is your timeline. Okay. This is your timeline. And this is right here, right now. So this, for some people, this could be 60 years. For some people, it could be 20 years. Well, however old you are, that's how long this is. So you park your spiritual power and you have the event. In this case, it was birth. And that's why one of the first things we clear in round one is birth trauma. So you parked your spiritual power. Now, as you move down your timeline of these first 40 years, you go to school and you got bullied, or you got treated poorly, or people criticized you, your teacher criticized you. Hey, what's wrong with you? Are you dumb? Are you retarded or something? That registers as a brain damage at some level, energetically brain damage when somebody tells you that at a young age, because you don't know enough. You don't have the spiritual perspective to go, no, I'm just bored. You just bore me. The next thing that happens, you go through death of a loved one. You lose a grandparent or all your grandparents, or you may lose a parent, or you may lose a brother or a sister or something like that. And again, you parked your spiritual power. And then you go through, you grow up, you get married, and you have a tumultuous marriage, and you go through a divorce. And the divorce devastates you, wipes you out financially, wipes you out emotionally, colors your view of the opposite sex, or it just does all kinds of emotional turmoil to you, and upset you to no end. And it's like, then you walk around thinking you're broken. Nobody wants you. Who would ever want you? Whatever it is you tell yourself, you park your spiritual power. Then let's say you go through a bankruptcy or some other financial downfall, or you lose your 401k in the stock market, or you make a bad financial decision, or you put all your money into a house and it turned out to be rat infested and they had to demolish it and you lost all your investments. I don't know. It could be any number of things, but you do it without your spiritual power. And so you look at it through the eyes of a human. And then maybe you develop a health issue. You develop a heart issue, or you get COVID, or you have cancer, heaven forbid. And then your life's on the line, and then you struggle and you run real fast trying to get your health back, and you start working out, start eating clean, start supplementing, all that kind of stuff, doing whatever you can do to stay in that body. But again, you are only looking at this through the eyes of a human. You parked your spiritual power. The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. That has never been more important than now in this reality that we're about to go into and that we're about to build. So just remember, the only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion.